Okay, we're gonna move on to our. I guess this is our final topic.
Yeah.
All right, which will be my topic, and that is it's a little bit complicated because I don't think I can really sum it up in a single sentence, and it's not necessarily a question as much as it is as an observation, and I would like your opinions and thoughts on it. But my topic, I realized the other day. Okay, it started. This is bear with me for this history a little bit, like kind of how I got here, but it started dawning on me the other day that it's very hard for me to play every single video game. And since I was a kid, I would have access to pretty much every video game if I wanted to, and I'd be able to play it, or at least I had the option. Like, I would read about games. I would be like, well, I don't want to play that one. It doesn't look good. This one looks great. I'm going to play this. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to finish it and move on. And then obviously now, like, they call it the shame pile. I'm pretty sure everybody in this podcast has a shame pile of games that they weren't able to finish or play, or it's just a stack of games that you have that you need to try, right? And that's because our games are getting longer, they're getting more complex and complicated and convoluted, and there's also more of them, right? So we live in an era now where this medium of video game, this interactive digital media, it's just plentiful. There's more than what we've ever had, more options than we ever had. We have 3 consoles, we have handhelds, we have phone games, we have Steam PC games, we have indie games, we have so many different outlets to get games that it's really exploded in the last couple of years, maybe last decade. So I've come to the realization, and it was a hard one, I can't play every single game.
Yeah.
I can't even probably experience every single game because of the amount of time that I have in the day. And I would argue that even a kid, because I know I'm an adult and I have a lot of things to do, but even a kid probably doesn't have as much access as we did when we were kids because there's just so much out there, right?
Yeah.
So what was interesting was to take this concept and this realization and think about what it meant to be a movie connoisseur, right? I would say that we're all video game enthusiasts. And what would it be like to be a movie enthusiast in like the 1920s, right? When movies were just starting out, right? If you grew up in that era, you were and you liked movies so much, it was a common thing for you to do, just check out every movie, to watch every movie, to experience every movie. But eventually that movie industry boomed, and genres were made, and subgenres were made, and indie movies were made, and it was international, it was huge, and it got to the point probably where you couldn't experience every movie, and that's got to be kind of weird. I'm sure the same can be said about like books at one time and like TV and all this stuff, right? But like, we didn't grow up in that era. We grew up in a time where movies were just, hey, you grew up watching the movies you liked, and that's it. To like think to this, like, to kind of put yourself in that mindset, it's like if you guys thought that you wanted to see every movie, you could, like, that would be crazy if I were to tell you, yeah, like, I know somebody who's trying to see every movie, and you're like, you're nuts, that will never happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Right.
But when someone goes, man, I just can't play games, you sympathize with them. You're like, yeah, I know, it sucks, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
You don't find them crazy, right? So we're a very unique generation to be growing up in this time frame, to see the media that we love and connect with the most explode to, it's a little bittersweet, but explode to a point where we have to accept now that we can't experience it all.
Yeah.
We just can't.
So, and to expand off that, I got 2 games that my brother would actually shoot me for not finishing. Red Dead Redemption, because he said it was the best ending of a video game he's ever played. And Dragon Age Origins. I have both of those games still sitting over there, and I just never finished them. I didn't have time.
So he's gonna kill you when this comes out.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now,
He'll be a ghost and he'll come back and he won't haunt us.
Exactly.
there you go. Boom.
We'll know exactly what happens in the afterlife.
So,
Yeah.
but with all that being said, right now I have The Witcher 3, and I haven't played it in a week. It's a great game. I just think that's going to be a game that's going to make that list too, and it sucks. I completely understand what you're saying, and it's not that I like lose interest in them. It's just I don't have all that time. I don't have.
You just don't.
Yeah. And not only that, I know there's games out that I've seen. I'm like, oh, that'd be so awesome to play. But I already have a game that I haven't finished, Witcher 3. Why should I go buy that?
And Ian, you don't feel the limitation of a genre that you don't connect with. Like, even like there's genres like racing games that I'm not really too, but like I still connect and would be interested and want to read about and maybe play. Right? And so like when an indie game comes out, they get like Minecraft or like Limbo, like you're like, oh cool, this is like, I want to check that out. Like you feel maybe like drawn to it, but like I'm assuming that kids these days are going to grow up and not be like I will play everything. Like they'll probably say, I'm just interested in first-person shooters, or I'm just interested in MMOs,
Right.
or I'm just and like to me, I'm like, well, why not? Are you interested in all this other stuff? Because all this stuff is amazing, right? So
Well, and to put it into this perspective, okay, so back in the day, there was only so many games out there. Oh, you had at one point Mario, Zelda, and Duck Hunt. You know, pretty much like those were the games. You know. But now you have, like you said, all these consoles, all these companies coming out with all these games. You can sit there and get, you know, pay-to-plays on your phone. You can sit there and do, you know, go to your consoles. You can go to your computer. There's just so much of variety that how are you going to, like, because I used to play sports games and everything, but now, honestly, I don't play many sports games anymore, you know?
yeah,
Look at that cat.
the cat doesn't play games
Cat
either.
came out of nowhere.
But yeah,
I feel you guys on that pain though. Like what list did you say was called? What pile? We calling that?
Shame pile.
Shame pile. Man, I've got that right. I got that going on right now. I went looking for the game Diablo 3 for me and my wife to go play last night. And that's a terrible situation because I wasn't able to find the disc. I don't know what happened there. We have a problem at the house. No, but I have games right now where it's like I have Dragon Age Inquisition. I have Shadow of Mordor. I didn't get to complete yet either. I even had the Watchdog when it like at first came out. Like I was super stoked about these games and I got involved in these games, wanted to play them, but then it was like the next thing came out. Well, there was Battlefield Hardline, then it was like this, and then it's so difficult to try to even keep up. I don't care if you're a person that has a subscription with GameFly. You probably still can't keep up. They're just like you guys are saying, so many games are getting produced, and you do have that desire to want to try those out and play those. You don't have that time to go, I want to play Shadow of Mordor, and I want to beat that game. I like that kind of game, and I want to play, the Watchdog, and I want to play the GTA 5, and I want to play Diablo 3, but all these games, I got the next one coming out in 2 weeks, and this game's going to take a second, plus the other 3 that I have on my list that I still have to complete, Yeah. And then they fall in that shame pile. It becomes frustrating.
So do you think that games should become shorter? I mean, because I've gotten a game before.
I wish.
And the thing is
I don't know.
If the game is short, it pisses me off. I'm like,
No,
So it's it's a bittersweet.
I would rather a game be short and just high quality, just everything just distilled into those like maybe 4 hours, right? As opposed to a game that's like, I don't know, 50 hours long and there's like a bunch of side quest missions. It takes forever to complete. Like, I'm not about that, man. I don't got the time in the day, in the week, in the month, in the year to do that.
Yeah.
Give me 4 hours of high quality gameplay and interesting stuff so I can move on to the next thing because you know that I got 50 more things to do.
So how do you feel about the kind of games like Fallout?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Not really you.
I even in games I have to pick certain things
that's what
that
I'm saying.
interested
Like,
in.
that's a game that I love and I love to play. But think about that game, right? If I pull that onto my plate, now it's like I can't pick up anything for the next like 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, I'm invested in that game and that game only, and I don't get to experience all those next badass games coming down the road. Then I fall behind real quick.
And it's basically resulted in me having to distill, which is really what I'm talking about, is that we are a generation that is having to learn to cope with the idea of distilling our gaming experiences down to core ones that we only have time for. Yeah. And what I've basically done with that is I said, okay, what is my competitive game? What is my vegging out game? Yeah. And what is my like game of the month?
Right. Okay.
Right. I have a game that when I'm feeling like competitive, I want to play with like friends. Like I got League.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
What is the game that I need to play when I've just had a long day at work and I need to just like zone out? It's Madden.
Yeah.
And what's the game that I'm interested in this month that I'm like maybe we'll try or beat like that? This Battle Block Theater. Right. I'm playing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then next month's gonna be a different. Like I don't have time to take every game.
Right.
That's a good concept. I like that. I might adopt that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, because.
I was gonna say I like that relax mode kind of idea, that veg out, game style. Because like for me, that'd be like those Mario parties that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Or the Diablo 3 I was really trying to do. I mean, I know that's like an MMO, like adventure game, not an MMO. Couldn't be, depending on how you're playing it. But
depending.
It's just like a dungeon run game. And that'd be something to just sit back, play with the wife, and have some fun, chilling, kicking back. And that's not too competitive. You're not gonna be unless you're playing in the MMO.
Or unless you're Clay. I'm kidding.
Unless you're, no, but I mean, like, those are good. That's a good way of looking at it. I like that.
I'm listening to all you guys and everything, but I'm kind of like wondering, like, is it that there's too many games to play, or is it that you guys aren't interested in it that well? It's not holding your interest.
No, they hold my interest. It's just there just becomes this next one. You know what I mean?
Because I mean, I got The Last of Us, and I couldn't put it down, and that game took a lot of like a lot of time and everything like that, but I couldn't put it down. Mm-hmm. Now I just got Batman Arkham, and I probably only got like 3 hours gameplay in that. Now it's a great game and everything like that, but like you're saying, like, it is time consuming. I put it in like one of the games, like as far as like Assassin's Creed, or like, it's one of those games where you come here, you do a side mission, 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 you do a main mission. You know what I mean?
Ugh. Yeah.
So it's like
forever.
It's like that. But the thing is I think what I'm saying, yeah, there is too many games out there, and that you want to play them all, but you can't. But the thing is, I think that if there is that one game out there that like holds your interest, you're gonna play no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking maybe you guys just don't like them enough. Like,
yeah,
It could also be, though, like Clay's point with the time, right? Like, I actually wasn't looking at things like that. I was kind of looking at it as like I'd rather have a more denser game, like the Fallout, like more time involved.
So like a movie?
No. I'm saying
a game that has a lot of time,
a lot
of
of
things to
content
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought like having that would be the better game to kind of go down that route. But one big reason why I'll choose a game that I want to play is time constraints. So I'm like, I kind of feel like I have, time for a Call of Duty or Hardline, first-person shooter, real quick, get in, get out. Or it's, okay, I have the time for a League of Legends, and that's going to be easily between 30 minutes and an hour and a half. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Depending on how many times UGC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That too. So, I mean, for me, it kind of like, I do see that I actually do kind of choose games based off of time constraints. So maybe if games were shorter, right? Like you were to beat that, like Batman game was capable of being beat in 6 hours.
Oh, I'm there.
You probably would
like,
do
yes.
it. Like I would have completed that game already.
Would anybody buy them, or would they rent them?
Yeah.
So yes, I actually would believe it, because you know what? If that game was half its length and just distilled higher in quality, so it got rid of a lot of the fluff and whatever, like those bad levels, right? They could sell for $30, and then you can get that game for shorter, and you can buy another game for shorter, and you can just get through it quicker.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was would you still pay that price for it? Because I wouldn't. No. So
that's why I don't buy games now. Generally, if I don't know it's going to be a long game, then I don't buy it. I'll rent it.
Okay, here's something I want to say real quick so that we can possibly see if we can get their perspectives kind of change a little bit. Clay, mention out some games that have a lot of high-pack quality involved that take a very short time to beat. And let's see if we played any of those and we can relate to what you're talking about. And see if, that short game is a game that I'm like, heck yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
I said The Last of Us. That took a total of 6 hours gameplay.
Boom.
Oh, okay.
And that was one of the best games, right?
Yes.
That you ever played.
Yes, I love
$60 worth it, right?
Yeah.
So $60 is still worth it for that one, yeah.
Look at that.
Well, okay, now Shadow of Mordor. I played that and I beat it, and it wasn't that long. Honestly, it's not an extremely long game. Yeah. I mean, you can make it as long as you want. I mean, quite honestly, doing like the side stuff, but I mean, if you really just pack it in, you can beat it quick.
Just do the main quest only. Yeah. So is that worth your $60?
Yeah, I would say it was a gift, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I say it was worth it.
You would about it. See, then that can be. I mean, it's a sale point that can work for video games, but it's got to be like a high. Like I played Shadow of Mordor, and I don't feel like it. I played The Last of Us too, and The Last of Us was one of those high quality games that you're playing, Yeah. And Shadow of Mordor was like, it was fun, it was entertaining, but I didn't finish it, even if it is short gameplay, because it wasn't packed enough for me quality wise.
Right.
But I would definitely still buy. I think personally, I'd still buy a game for $60. I would like it to be $30, and let's come out with games faster. But I'd still buy one for $60. That's going to have, I would probably want between 5 and I'd say 8 hours of solid gameplay, but quality game. And nothing more than that. Nothing that it feels like I have to actually spend a month to really try to beat this game, because I'm a parent. I don't have that time.
Yeah, I want to be able to beat it in a day, and I want to have an amazing experience with it. And honestly, like, I've played those Batman games before. They're great games. We've talked about them on here on the podcast. But like, there's some levels that probably could have get taken out. There's some narrative that they kind of probably could have pulled a little bit to make that thing shorter. Like, there's a point in which they're just kind of like padding it a little bit, right? So take out that padding, just whatever, and then that's padding of content that you don't have to worry about creating or paying someone to create for. So drop the price of the game, put it on the shelf, and then I'll buy it. Like,
it's like fluff or fill, just to kind of just get you.
Like Skyrim, or not Skyrim, Oblivion is a really great example. It's like, I didn't care about that single player experience. I cared about like the thief, the dark. What is it? The Dark Guild.
Yeah. The Dark Hand or something like that. Yeah.
Like that's
the Assassin's Guild. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Assassin's Guild, and like there was another guild that I cared, and that like that 8-hour experience of turning into a vampire, like that's all I cared about. That's all I really wanted to buy.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's a good route to kind of go down.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would totally, if they were $30 on the shelf, I would totally buy that over a $68 game, because honestly, the expense is better. You know, I'm like, okay, well, I can shell out $30 and not feel bad if this game isn't as good. You know.
Yeah. So, that's true too. That is true. Yeah. I would like to just see game prices go down, because then you can actually at least stack up that shame pile so that you can eventually get to it if you can.
Where we live,
make it more affordable for you too.
It's interesting, honestly. If you don't choose to buy a game when it first comes out, if you wait 6 months, that price drops. There's sales some point wherever you can put a pin on a calendar, and 6 months from that pin is always a major sale, whether it's Black Friday or a summer sale or Steam sale. You know, you're gonna find something that's gonna be on sale for that game that you'll be able to get for like $30. So I mean, we live in a weird world where that happens. You just don't buy the game right out at first.
Yeah. So that GameFly idea is still something. I mean, like, even with that, like, that's a good route, right? It's cheaper. You're not buying the games. You're just renting the game, kind of beat it. If it does have good content, if it's not long, you can get through those games fast enough. But not fast enough to be able to still tackle, like I said, what I think there is plenty of quality games out there to be able to tackle all those in enough time. To be able to say, I've got to experience even the ones that you want to. Even if you're like, I'm a first-person shooter guy. There's like 15 first-person shooters that come out like a month. And you're like, which one am I going to choose? You know, like, which one do I want to do? Do I want to do the one on the Wii, the one on the Xbox, the one on the computer, the one on the PlayStation? Like,
it's incredible, because like this original conversation was about just like the girth of and the depth of this game, of the game libraries that exist right now, right? Like, and even if someone, and we talked about the idea of someone's pretty much going to have to pick what they really, really like in playing, and then pretty much they're going to
narrow down
just through and just stick with that, right? But even someone who's like, no, I like first-person shooting and racing. It's like, well, what kind of first person? Are you a Call of Duty first person? Are you a Halo first person? Are you a Counter-Strike first person? Because they could just be playing that the entire and they might just get stuck there. And like on racing, they might just like Burnout style, like, and that's it. And then it's crazy for me to think, because every year there's a new game in that franchise that they can play.
So let's take a quick second to step back and think about this too real fast. Think about how picky we can be nowadays, right?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's so crazy awesome still. With you saying all that, I'm just realizing, like, God, you didn't get to be picky before. You were like, this is your game, suck it up and fucking play this game if you want to play a game. That's all you got.
You want first-person shooter? Yeah,
like now you're just saying you want first-person shooter. Well, here's a whole bunch of different kind of categories of how gameplay can, what kind of different gameplay you can play while still playing a first-person shooter game. You know, it's like, oh gosh, you can actually do that nowadays.
It's
real picky with it.
It's so nuts. So, I think it's very incredible. I think we're very fortunate, but also it kind of sucks to be this generation. We're living through a time that no other generation is going to be able to experience. Like I opened up with. That group of people in the 1920s who got to experience film explode, but also feel that like that feeling of, oh my god, I can't keep up. I have to just kind of like live now in this world where I have to like, I don't have time to look at everything, right? We're that generation with games, and it's kind of fun to be a part of. But like I said, it also kind of sucks. So well, that's my topic. Listen, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this other episode of Everything and Nothing. It's been really fun. We had some good topics on this show. Like I said in the beginning, all of this is coming out on YouTube for free. You guys can check it out on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Maelstrom channel. So go ahead in there and check it out. Every one of these topics gets uploaded onto YouTube Monday through Friday, and then the full episode gets uploaded on Saturday, all for free. If you don't feel like waiting and you kind of want to see the next episode early, we actually have that for you. You can go on to patreon.com/maelstromgamers, and you can get the episode early. You can get the MP3 early. And you can even get a special episode just for you by just paying $1. And every dollar helps support us get better equipment and hit some of our milestones that you'll see on Patreon.
Yep.
Please go over to Facebook and Twitter, follow us, like us there, comment, subscribe below, because that really always helps. We want to hear what
Definitely
you guys are thinking.
below.
Right?
Hey, so big shout out to you guys. It is serious support when you guys hit subscribe, you hit share, you hit like. You know, I know we understand if the Patreon thing isn't something that you guys can have running with, but that's huge support, and we love that. You know, get up there on the Facebook page, please. You know, get up there and like that Facebook page so you can be updated on when we are releasing those.
And Rocco, we also have another way to support us. We have a support button on our YouTube channel, and you can click that and you can give $1, $5. You can give how many dollars you want to give us. Anything helps. We'll take it. We'll put it right back into the show, and we'll really appreciate it of it.
$1 million.
$1 million. One day, guys. One day. Well, listen, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's been an honor to entertain you. While you're waiting for the next show, keep thinking about everything and nothing.
And have a wonderful weekend, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
Adios.